Hello and welcome to the Trade Ideas Market Recap for Monday, August the 4th. My name is Barry Enerson. I'm the moderator of the trading room. This is the address to get into the room, and you can log in as a guest or use your Facebook or your Twitter account to log in. Let's see. Well, three trades today I'm going to go over. I'm also going to go over something that I just discovered actually myself last week, and how you can actually have the decimal, or the what I guess we'll call the whole number filter in a top list. Now that may not mean a lot to most of you or any of you, but I know some people really would want that. And in fact, I wanted that as a feature before, but I didn't realize you could actually do it. So I'm going to show you how we can do that now. But first, let's take a look at the trades. I took three trades today, and the first trade was TTech, and TTech came in on the bounce play. There is TTech right there. And I apologize because I haven't turned off my sound alert, so we may get some hallelujahs and strange things on this video. So hopefully not. Well, in fact, let me just do it right now. Actions, get rid of that. And I have another one that gives me some sound. So so we're not too distracted. Okay, so here's TTech. Again, the bounce play, looking for stocks that are coming down. And sorry about that. And so I was alerted to it right at around 24.42. So in this area here, so I'm waiting for the bounce, and I took the bounce on this green candle there at 24.56, and I stopped myself out at 24.51. It just seemed to be taking a little bit too long to get going. But I did say in the room that I would keep watching it because it had at least it didn't, when it fell, it didn't fall in any sort of a catastrophic way. So I thought I would keep watching it, and I'm really glad I did because I ended up taking the trade again at 24.61 right here on this candle, right on that candle here. And you see these little narrow range candles, and then a nice pop here. And I actually exited half the trade at 24.83. And I kept the balance, watched it go up to 25.19, and on its way down, I sold the last half at 25.10. So again, another, one of the things I've said several times in past videos is just because you get into a trade, it doesn't work, doesn't mean you just completely forget about it. Because, in this particular case, it just wasn't quite the right time. But as I said in the room, a little bit of patience and stick to itness. We got a good trade out of it. The next one wasn't as good. It was a scary one, and ASPS. Alerted obviously on all this downtrend here. The problem with this one, yeah, it's a great bounce potential, but the difference between the bid and the ask sometimes was, I think, even over $1. It was just crazy, crazy, crazy. But I decided, I think right in this candle here, right in this area here, to take the trade at 88.44. Now, when I took the trade at 88.44, the stock was probably trading at 88.70. That was on the ask, okay, and that was the last, but the bid was actually way under. And so I got the trade at 88.44, but it took a while before the bid actually got up to 88.44, which would, of course, give me an opportunity to sell it if I wanted. Bottom line is that it just got way too crazy, and I didn't have very many. I said in the room I didn't take very many, so I actually exited the trade at 88.20, and I felt good about that because I think right after that it really, I mean, the difference in the bid and the ask really, it got exaggerated. So yes, later on it did come up, and sure, I wish I had held some of it, but again, it was just a little too crazy action for me. The last one turned out very nice, and I'm still actually in it. This is MDC. Now, MDC came on sort of a variation of the bounce play. You can see that, I had all these candles coming down here, but this came from just something I'm looking at, looking at consecutive 15-minute down candles in a row, and I was looking at the ones that had the most down in a row, and this one popped up. You can see this is 5-minute chart, but on the 15-minute chart, it had a same look. So I ended up taking the trade at 25.94. We were talking about it in the room, and look at this nice base 25.88. It hit one, two, three times right at that level, and then finally it popped up. And I took the trade at 25.94, and I sold half of it at 26.18, and I'm still in it. 26.38. We still have about half an hour left in the market, so looks good. I mean, it's still kind of basing here on the 5-minute candle, so I have to keep an eye on it, of course, which I will on another monitor. So I may exit a trade while I'm doing this video. So those are the three trades I took, but I also want to go over something that has been, I think, requested quite a bit. I know I actually requested it a few years ago, and don't tell me this is going to happen. We got this. See if I can get. I might have to. Okay, sorry about that. I think I'm back. Well, I know I'm back, but I just want to bring this in, which is the daily filter, the decimal. Let me just pop this back in again. Okay, so it's right here. Now, what is interesting about this is that a lot of people would like to have a top list that shows stocks that are close to the whole number. And we haven't been able to do that. If I go here, if I bring in a top list and I do a configure, and this is popping, and I do a search, and this is called the decimal filter. Well, yes, you're going to see decimal filter here, but this is a custom strategy or custom filter that I required. This is why it starts with U96. Unlike if I go to let me close this down. It's giving me a beep. If I go to here, which is an alert, and you'll see if I do the same thing and do a search on decimal, you see this is the sort of the stock, the built-in decimal filter that Trade Ideas has, and it's available for alert windows, but it has not been available for top list windows. And I think one of the reasons they made that sorry, just lagging a bit. They made that decision is that the top lists are updated every 30 seconds. Sorry, yeah, every 30 seconds. So maybe I think they probably felt that, well, okay, here it is. And let me bring up I'm not having a good time here, guys. Here we go. So if I do this, let me just bring this up. Okay, so you see VC. Wow, I'm sorry. This is just there we go, 99.9101. So there, it is close to the whole number. And what I've done is I've set that custom filter to be either side of the whole number by 10 cents. So I think their thinking was that, well, this updates every 30 seconds. So maybe by the time you clicked on it, it would be outside that whole number range. But at any rate, now we have a way to do it. And it's really quite simple. I'm just going to Again, I hope this doesn't lag too much. Let's bring up the formula editor. And you see what I've done? Down at the bottom here, I've created one called the decimal filter, and it's very, very simple. I just type in, and this is the square bracket, and then DEC, and close square bracket. And now I've got a decimal filter. And that decimal filter can be used just like, well, as you would want it. So you could now just return to the list. And before I go, we can now do the same thing with the spread filter. Again, if you try to add the spread filter to a top list, you would find that it's not available to add. You can add it as I'm sorry, here's the spread filter right here. And again, all you have to do is type in this spread. And now you've created your own custom alert, your own custom filter for spread, and you can create one for for whole numbers too, or the decimal filter. I like to call it the whole number, but we call it the decimal filter. So hopefully that's not too confusing. I mean, all I'm really trying to show you is that here I now have a list of stocks that are very close to the whole number. Before, all I could do was get alerted to when a stock was close to a whole number. The same thing with the spread. If I want to see stocks that have a very tight spread, I can now create that spread filter and put it in a top list. Now, I think the spread is probably not as good because I mean, you might say, oh, well, I want a 5 cent spread. By the time you actually click on this and load it in a chart, I mean, and then check your level two to see what the spread is, it may not be 5 cents. It could be quite a bit different. This one I'm finding is still relatively close. I mean, this says 98, so let me just back this out. Let's see what it is right now. There we are. So it is still at 98, but this could have been 62.99, or it could have gone on the other side, or it could have dropped to 62.95. All I'm saying is that my filter though is I'm saying I want to see stocks that are either side of the whole number 10 cents. So anything from 60 XX 9.90 up to XX 0.10 over. That's basically what I'm looking for. So now we can do it. Hopefully, I didn't confuse the heck out of you. I'm sorry with the lag and all of that, but it's just now something that we can do. And I know a lot of people really want to see when is a stock near a whole number. And you put other filters in place, volume, a relative volume, price, and any other filter that you want. But now you can zero in on the stocks that are right at the whole number, close to a whole number. And again, I've used 10 cents on either side. You could use 5 cents on either side. It's completely up to you. So that is it for today. Let me just bring back the cover page. This is how to get into the room, and I hope to see you in the trading room tomorrow.